Total crypto market cap zoomed out. I've not been as bullish as I am right now since back here, November 2020, post 2020 Bitcoin halving, whales scooping up Bitcoin like never before. And the Bitcoin daily chart, just a massive, meaningful breakout that I want to discuss in this video. So hit the subscribe, hit the like on the way in. Let's just jump into the video. So I want to start, before we really dive into some of the Bitcoin charts on the zoomed in, look at this daily candle, everybody. This upper trend line in yellow is like 7 months in the making, and we are about to enter a new season for crypto. Before we talk about all of those charts, I do want to just talk about the total crypto market cap chart, because even if you don't hold Bitcoin, if you're an altcoin person, this chart is just an illustration of what is getting ready to happen. And I just posted on X. I haven't felt this bullish since back here in November 2020. And the one thing I just wanted to point out to you, I just really enjoy the momentum oscillators in general on all of these charts. You look at a MACD right now and by the way, this is a weekly chart zoomed out. So when we fell below 0 on the histogram, on this momentum oscillator, on the total crypto market cap chart, right around Bitcoin halving, this was all the way back in like April. So all of this consolidation, and look at the histogram moving back up. We're about to get a MACD crossing the signal line on this weekly total crypto market cap chart. And when we start looking at something like the stock RSI, which is something I really wanted to talk about in this video, put aside that MACD, which is ultra bullish. I just really enjoy, you get the snapshot of cycles, right? And then it's not enough just to be like, okay, post Bitcoin halving 2020, post Bitcoin halving 2024, we are kind of like right around here, getting ready for breakout. There are similarities. It's there. But you back it up with data. And for me, momentum oscillators, moving averages are important. Momentum oscillators are so crucial. And when I look at the stock RSI, the quicker moving momentum oscillator right here, it just gets me excited in regards to what I think is about to happen. All of the consolidation and oversold that just happened, that's quite a long time for crypto being in that area. And right now, around 50 some on the stock RSI. Well, November 2020, look where it was. Right here. Right around 60. And what did that kick off? That kicked off altcoin season. And again, from a timeline perspective, it's all lining up very nicely, right? So this purple line is kind of altcoin season last cycle. Here we are speculatively this cycle, altcoin season. Right now we're sitting at around $2.2, $2.3 trillion market cap. Well, guess what? We could very much be on our way to my soft target of around $4 trillion market cap. We have this fun target, 12 to 13 trillion to the upside. We can take our bars pattern from the last bull market high, or actually let's take it from this bull market high all the way back here in 2018 to bear market low to the next bull market high. And let's just have some fun with it, right? We survived the bear market, we exited the bear market, and now we're right in this area where we're potentially getting ready to break out. And you can see, we can make it more volatile. We can adjust this however we want, but you can see the parabolic bull cycle is set up. We've waited years for this. And if you're a crypto holder, it's just an exciting time. Speculative still, no guarantees, but just an exciting time. Let's cruise over and talk about Bitcoin. This Bitcoin daily chart is crucial. Still got 9 hours or so left on the candle, but I really want to discuss what's going on here. So check this out. We have Bitcoin whales are buying aggressively. And I had this post up, and now it's not showing, but here it is. Never in the history of Bitcoin have whales been buying Bitcoin this aggressive. Just look at this. This is crazy. So this was the first post I saw by Quentin over here on X. And I was like, that's just right now with the 7 months of consolidation we just had, whales, institutions buying. We know how that looks. That's bullish. But then I saw this, another post by Quentin. He compares it to 2020. Look what happened back here in 2020. Whales buying aggressively. Do you see that? And we just looked at what happened in November 2020. That kicked off the parabolic bull cycle. We are getting something similar. It just looks like it. So I really wanted to share that data. Overall, the whale's activities highlight the broader interests of investors, including institutional players. Recently, BlackRock's iShare Bitcoin Trust raked in $760 million of Bitcoin inflows within 3 days. Institutions are buying Bitcoin. Retail, really not even here yet. So here's the breakout, everybody. I'm excited to talk about this, not only because we're getting this multi-month, over half a year upper trend line being broken. It doesn't mean we're not going to fall back in. Be very careful. However, we're entering this new realm of the Bitcoin chart. The breakout is happening, right? As I do this video. But now we can start talking about the really macro, because 7 months, it's a big setup. But the really macro is the entrance into the parabolic bull, right? And on this chart, we have this inverse head and shoulders we've been tracking with this potential right shoulder setup. So I really want to set a reminder, this breakout here isn't a right shoulder breakout, right? This is still the right shoulder formation. The right shoulder breakout is up here in like the $76,000 area. So now as we're entering, or I should say exiting this trend line, and by the way, we might fall back below the trend line today. We have to keep an eye out. There's not a lot of space or separation from that trend line. But now that it's happening, we can at least start evaluating. If Bitcoin gets some legs and we get this crazy breakout, and I'm going to show you what the breakout could look like in just a minute on another daily chart. But we get this breakout and it actually still keeps going, right? What's the first resistance? And for me, it's the neckline of the inverse head and shoulders, because that's the real breakout. That's the multi-year neckline, not a multi-month upper trend line like what's happening now. This is the multi-year neckline. So this took a while to get to if it gets there, and that's around $76,000. Notice Bitcoin will be at all-time high, and we will be in a brand new season, a brand new era for Bitcoin. So the question is, will it get there? And along the way, what could happen? I wanted to bring up Bulkowski real quick on the pattern site. He covers all these patterns. I've learned so much from him over the years. Descending broadening wedge, which is essentially what we're in, right? This descending broadening wedge. He talks about breakouts a lot. I always like going back to his data. So in regards to throwbacks and pullbacks, it's a 62% throwback rate based on his data. And if we go look at the broadening wedge, a throwback would be basically we're breaking out, and then we're throwing back to the pattern itself, to the upper trend line. And so on the way to $76,000, that might happen, right? We get some separation and then we're throwing back. We have to evaluate support at that trend line. The other thing is this, and this might be where we get some real volatility, some true bull market volatility. We're actually making our way to 76,000 to the neckline, and there's some resistance there. And I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if there's resistance here. And then we're getting a throwback. So I just want to put that out there. That could be some massive volatility. Just to give you a sense, from that area to the throwback to the trend line, 13% dip for Bitcoin. That's a big dip for Bitcoin being in an environment where we're at in the 70s, right? Falling back into the 60s. It's very volatile. There'll be a lot of probably fear, but this could be what we're entering, the season of volatility in a bull market. So these dips, they happen more than 10, 13% we could anticipate. So that's what I'm watching though right now. I just want to see if Bitcoin can continue getting separation, because right now it's like, this isn't anything crazy, right? We still have to break all of these previous swing highs, but what is nice to see is this trend line being broken. And then we go to the daily chart, and this is where things really become nice. That is to say, if you look at, and we kind of just did this on a total crypto market cap, if you look at momentum of Bitcoin right now in the daily, you're like, oh man, it's approaching overbought. But this might be exactly what we want to see. Remember I talked about when we were right here, we were consolidating in a way like on the 6-hour chart that was just way more powerful looking than what was happening at every swing low. And that's why I thought Bitcoin was going to be breaking up, and it did. Well, in a similar way, if you look at what's happening on this momentum oscillator on the daily, approaching overbought, and then you look at, again, I'm going to revisit October 2023. Look what Bitcoin was doing on the RSI when it had its October breakout, right? It was entering overbought. That was the signal that happened that led to, if you just look at this move, $30,000 all the way up to all-time high. So we're in a very similar environment, even on the daily chart. So the breakout momentum, the breakout room for Bitcoin to hit, the $80,000 plus targets to the upside right now, it's there. This is only, to get to 80,000, it's a $12,000 move, right? To get to that $76,000 neckline that we just talked about on this chart, we're looking at an $8,000 move for Bitcoin. The momentum is there for this to happen. So along the way, I think it's clear, be careful, anticipate throwbacks. I'm always, no matter where we are, we're at this trend line. Just to speak of dips just for a moment, maybe Bitcoin doesn't get the separation, the explosive move continuation we want. We really want separation from that yellow line so we can just throw back to it. Maybe it doesn't happen. If we're falling back into this entire consolidation below the trend line, I'm still just going to continually look at the moving averages. The 20, the 200 at a confluent area around 63,500, and then the 50 is around $61,400. So that entire area is always in play for me as we continue to try and make our higher highs and higher lows for the true breakout. So this is what I'm watching on the crypto charts, everybody. But again, I don't think it's been as bullish on the zoomed out as we've been since back here. And this is all the way back here in like November 2020. So these are my thoughts today. Let's watch markets. Appreciate you cruising through. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe, hit the like button, and turn notifications on, because as we get ready to enter these new charts, this new era, it's going to get fun. And I really just enjoy having all of you on board with the crypto journey as we kind of just watch these things happen. So I'll see you on the next video. Hit the subscribe. God bless.